I started singing as soon as I started breathing. I sang night and day for anyone, anywhere. My parents would send me out to wait for the ice cream man just to have some peace.
My father bought me a guitar on my 6th birthday with the hope that I would learn to play the Italian songs from the old country and do duets with my sister who played accordion, and then we can entertain our family and friends on Sunday get-togethers after church.
And in 4th grade, everybody got the opportunity to try out for choir. When it was my turn, the choir teacher asked me to sing a scale and then a little song that all the other kids sang. When I was finished, she just sat there staring at me and said, "Do your parents know about this?"
As I got older, I wanted to play other instruments besides the guitar. I became much more interested in the song and the arrangement and all of its parts. So I learned to play piano and drums. I think I was about 10 or 11 at the time.
I spent the next 3 years in junior high choir preparing to be with Georgia Rule, who was the high school choir teacher. She became my mentor. She was tough. She was a taskmaster. She taught me everything I needed to know about being a good worker and a great singer. No one ever asked me to be quiet again.
My Uncle Tim helped me form my first rock and roll band when I was 14. He was the lead singer. It was a basic 4-piece band. We would play bars and clubs, and he would sneak me in through the back door because I was underage and I couldn't get in otherwise.
I was going to be a classical singer, schooled, perfected, and successful. There was just one tiny little problem. I loved rock and roll and pop music. In my senior year, my boyfriend, fiancé, got drafted and decided to enlist in the Army. I panicked and married him. I was working at a bank, living with someone I didn't love. No Juilliard, no college, no more singing. I quit my job and went back to New York and started singing again.
I did the Cleveland bar band circuit with various bands until February of 1978. I just turned 22 years old. I had an opportunity to audition for the Rick Derringer Band in New York City. I think there were over 200 guitar players or so that came for the audition, many of which I heard coming through the door as I was waiting to take my turn, and I was convinced there was no way I was going to get that gig. They were so good. I wouldn't have a chance, but I got lucky. My life changed dramatically. Overnight, it seemed, I went from playing to a few hundred people to thousands.
After 2 years of playing all over New York, in 1978, I played a showcase at a club called Tramps. The New York Post wrote a glowing review, and that next night, every record company came down to see the show. I signed with Chrysalis Records and started making a record soon after, but it still didn't feel right. Something was missing.
With Derringer, we toured all of 1978, and in the beginning of 1979, went to Woodstock, New York, and recorded a record ironically called Guitars and Women.
I realized that what I wanted was a partner, like Robert Plant and Jimmy Page and Mick Jagger and Keith Richards. I didn't want to be the girl singer in front of a faceless band. But they still weren't getting it.
When recording with Derringer had finished, I was on my way back to my hometown, Cleveland, Ohio. The phone rang in the studio, and the person came out and said, "There's a phone call for you."
We scrapped the first attempt, and Mike Chapman and Peter Coleman were called in. I sat down with Mike and explained once again what I was trying to accomplish. Mike said, "I've got your guy."
And the person on the phone said, there's a singer that just got signed to a record deal in New York and was looking for a guitar player / partner to form a rock and roll band.
He's 22. He's playing with Rick Derringer right now. He's perfect.
The person also said he heard of me while I was on the road with Derringer and said I would be perfect. Perfect, I said. Damn, I hope I can live up to that. Damn.
He's a great guitar player, songwriter, arranger, and he's good looking. His name is Neil Giraldo.
Then I said, what's his name? Maybe I heard of him. It's not a him, it's a her. Her name, Pat Benatar. Then I said, is she good looking? Oh my God, how is this gonna work? And on that day,
in May of 1979,
my life changed again.
We met.
The rest, history.
History.